Hi everyone, it's Patricia. So the first thing that you may have noticed is yet again we have changed the background. I am currently recording in our living room, and this is because my brother is studying from home due to COVID restrictions here in the UK. So schools are closed and he's using my desk at the moment to study, but that doesn't stop me from recording my vlogs because we adapt. And here I am in our living room recording the second video. This is the second video in my personal growth journey, which is the mind. So my mental wellness journey happened along the same time that my physical wellness journey was happening. I came across, I think you could call it divine intervention, but around the same time that I started running Couch to 5K, I was exposed to the channel of Zoe Ariel. And in one of her videos, she talked about this book called Mind Power by John Kehoe, and I actually have it here with me. And she kind of just like talked about how it changed her perspective on life and how it was given to her by her father before she went on her European trip. So around 2018, I purchased the book and I learned a lot of things from the book, and that is what I'm going to be sharing with you in today's video. This is just a smidge, just on the surface level about the beginning of my journey about understanding our mind and the way that it works and how it influences our daily lives. Don't quote me as an expert because I'm not. Again, I'm just sharing with you what I've learned from the book, and this is kind of actually the introduction to the power of your mind and how the way that you think affects the way that you live. So there is more to this. There are deeper avenues that you could explore, but this is an introduction and a sampler and something that I learned over the past 4 years that have completely changed the way that I think and I live. I'm pretty sure all of us have heard the phrase or the saying, if you believe, you can achieve, where in order to achieve your goals, you have to believe in it and be in the right mindset. So there is truth to that, but I think what it doesn't discuss is how that comes about. And hopefully in talking through what I've learned from the book, you'll be able to understand how that is accomplished. So the first thing I want to talk about is distinguishing the difference between thought and belief. So thought is instantaneous and fleeting, and it is concepts that constantly come up in your mind, but it doesn't stay by itself. It doesn't have any power. So a thought could be, oh, it's sunny today. Oh, how nice is it? How nice that it's sunny today. That's a thought. A belief is more concrete, and it's a thought that is true for you, and it is a thought that you hold to be true. And the way that thought turns into belief is two things. So the first avenue is based on past experiences, and the second thing, which I think is a bit stronger, is through repetition and therefore reinforcement. So if you keep thinking that thought, it suddenly starts becoming a belief for you. The more that you repeat this thought, the more concrete it becomes, therefore the more it becomes true for you. And again, beliefs are thoughts which you hold to be true. For instance, again, when I was just based on the physical wellness journey, growing up, I've always heard, oh, you're so fat, if only you were skinny you would be better, like just things like that. And then that kind of started impacting my self-esteem. So I started, because I hear it all the time, I started believing that I'm not worthy or I'm less of a person just because of the way that I look. And I started believing that I am worthless because of the way that I look, and then that turned into a belief. It holds a lot of power, and ideology, and this is where ideology comes in. Ideologies hold a lot of power because there is belief in them, and this is, people form moral constructs and concepts, and they govern their lives based on their beliefs. So beliefs do hold a lot of power. The thing that's bad is when these beliefs turn against us. I'm pretty sure every single one of us has wanted to pursue something or a goal and has always thought, oh, I can't, oh, I don't have enough time for this, I don't have the skills for this. And if you keep thinking that way, then it's going to be true for you. You won't be able to do it. You won't be able to have time for it. And because you're reinforcing those negative thoughts, what do you think is going to happen? When we repeat these negative thoughts, we are subconsciously reinforcing these ideas, and then it turns into a belief, and then this is what we call a limiting belief. Limiting beliefs are self-imposed beliefs that constrain us and prevent us from reaching our goals and prevents us from doing the things that we want to do. As with all beliefs, these limiting beliefs are just beliefs. They're only true insofar as you believe in them. It doesn't necessarily mean that it is true. In the book, John Kehoe says that if your subconscious mind has picked up worry, negativity, or limiting suggestions, it will accept them as true, and your subconscious will work with that belief day and night, ultimately bringing about the corresponding situations. So if you think negative thoughts, negative things will happen to you, and that's only because you are in that mindset, you're in that space, you project that vibration of negative energy, therefore you attract the negative energy. The thought energy that you project to the outside world, because that's who you're being in that moment, whether it's positive or negative, because you radiate that thought or that energy, that's what you attract, and therefore that's what manifests. For instance, like I said in my previous video, I kept making excuses. Oh, I can't run, the weather's too bad today. And because I'm thinking those thoughts, the universe is giving that to me. Because I had that mindset, I wasn't able to do it because my thoughts were constantly consumed by I can't, therefore I do not. It shows you how strong your limiting beliefs can affect the way that you live and the way that you act. If you keep focusing on the problem, it doesn't give your mind the space or the capacity to think up of a solution. So how do we overcome these limiting beliefs? The first step is to be aware of the negative thoughts that occur as they happen. This isn't easy, but you have to catch your thoughts. So whenever you find yourself thinking I can't, whenever you find yourself saying the words or thinking the words I can't, or making excuses, stop and recognize that thought. Hold it in your brain. And then the next step is to question and challenge it. Why can't I? Or do I really not have the time? Because those negative thoughts in your head is what others refer to as your ego. So it's that voice in your head that's trying to keep you safe from harm. And in order to rein you in and keep you safe, keep you in your comfortable space, it reins you in and it stops you from doing things that challenge you. But without challenge, there won't be growth. So it also stops you from progressing. Once you become aware of your negative thoughts and then you challenge and question it, you will start to overcome it, and then this puts you in the right mindset. I mean, with this vlog situation, so one of the biggest hurdles that I have in doing these vlogs is that nobody cares. You know, the thoughts that are going through my head, why should I do this? Because nobody cares, nobody's watching, nobody's interested in the things that I have to say. But I'm catching those thoughts in my head and I'm saying to myself, you know, I'm unpacking it and I'm saying, if I say to myself that nobody cares and nobody's watching, why do I have views? Why do my friends and cousins always ask me, when's your next video gonna come out? So it's questioning that voice inside your head, that self-defeating voice, that limiting belief, that saboteur in your head that just says you can't. Challenge it, question it, put it on the spot and be like, do you really think that way? And then it's reframing those thoughts. So if I say to myself, nobody cares, nobody's watching, the way that I would reframe that thought is by saying, the people who want to watch my content will watch it, or the people who needs to listen to this content will find it. So that's the way in which I reframe those negative thoughts. So you don't just have to be aware of your negative thoughts, you can also be aware of your positive ones. Any accomplishments, any achievements, anything that you need to celebrate within your life, something that you think went well, be aware of that and acknowledge that as well. If you're like me, you're always forgetting things because there's too many things going on and you forget the good things that happen to you. It's good to write what you've accomplished or done so that you can remember it. Next thing you'll know, you'll have a list of all your accomplishments, anything that you need to celebrate, anything that you've achieved, what has gone well, and how it came about. If you've got a list of all the things that you've done right, things that you need to celebrate, things that you've accomplished, it's going, see how it makes you feel. Because you can see all the things that you've done, all the things that you've accomplished, and then you think to yourself, if I'm able to achieve all of this, how come I can't achieve more? It also allows you to acknowledge your achievements, and then it shows you what you're capable of. By paying attention to the flow of thoughts inside our head, either be it positive or negative, we have to react to it. So any negative thoughts, question or challenge it, and any positive thoughts, recognize it and then celebrate it. So the next step is visualization, and it's thinking about visualization. I mean, daydreaming can count as visualization, but to be more concrete, thinking about it in terms of achieving your goals and objectives. So I'll tell you a story. Catriona Gray, Miss Universe 2018, wore a red dress when she won the crown for Miss Universe. Why? It's because when she was 8, her mother dreamt that she won Miss Universe wearing a red dress. And she had that thought, that vision, that moment in her head and carried it throughout her journey to become Miss Universe. And not just the pageant itself, through her journey from the age that she was 8 up to the age that she won the crown. She had this image in her head of her winning Miss Universe wearing a red dress. And guess what happened? She won Miss Universe wearing a red dress. So she held that image in her head, that belief in her head that she will win Miss Universe wearing a red dress, and it came to fruition. So how does this relate to you achieving your goals? It's about visualizing yourself as if you were already in that moment. For example, I made a goal in 2019 to run the Great North Run. And during the training, I had my trail, I had my path, and at the end of that path, I visualized just like the finish line, like there was like a border kind of thing, just announcing that you finished the race. Like whenever I reached the end of my training path, I just had that vision in my head of me crossing that finish line and just like being so happy that I've done it. And every time I trained, I had that vision of my head of me crossing the finish line, and it happened. So if you kind of just keep that mentality in your mind, it contributes towards manifesting the things that you want to happen. Another thing that I realized in my mental wellness journey that's separate from the book, but it kind of relates to it, is that once you have that thought of that goal in your head, and then it becomes a belief because you reinforce that thought, your mind is consumed by nothing else other than achieving that goal. So this happened to me when I had that idea to run the Great North Run. Initially, it was just a thought. I was like, oh, it would be nice to run the Great North Run, or it would be nice to finish the Great North Run. And then I kept repeating that thought in my head to the point where my thoughts were just, my mind was just consumed by it. So I made it into a goal, physically wrote it down in a tick. I had a tick box at the front. I remember writing it in my journal. I had like a tick box, and then run the Great North Run. And then my mind was just consumed by thoughts about how this was going to be accomplished. So what steps I was gonna take. Obviously, I'm gonna have to train, I'm gonna have to run. Game planning the day of, and I was speaking to people about it, just like my whole, not my whole life, but like my mind was just consumed in achieving this goal. So I trained, I ate properly, I spoke to people about it, I asked for tips about what to do on the day. Everybody I encountered, I discussed this run with. And I think that's partly why whenever you set your mind something, you can achieve it, because your thoughts are consumed by nothing else other than achieving that goal. There's actually more to the book that I haven't discussed, but I'm conscious that this has gone long enough and there might be too much information, so I want you to just digest those initial steps or things that I've talked about, and maybe later I can expand on other teachings of the book or other teachings that I've learned in the past 4 years with regards to the power of the mind. But hopefully this video has been helpful, and again, this is just a taster. This is just the beginning of the journey. There's definitely more resources out there, but I'm hoping that this video has helped you, and I can't wait to see you again for the next video. I'm hoping you're having a great time. If you've liked the video, please hit the like button. If you wanted to ask me any questions or just comment, please use the comment section below. And if you enjoyed this video and any other videos in my channel, then please hit subscribe. I hope you're having a wonderful time wherever it is you are in the world, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!